A homeless woman walked up to a billionaire in the rain and said 6 words that broke him. "I can save your twins' lives," she said, rain pouring down her face. The billionaire's twins were dying, a few hours left to live, and he had searched every donor on Earth. This stranger, dying of chronic myeloid leukemia, was the only match. But what she told him next made him realize he'd been asking the wrong question the entire time. She pulled out a handwritten note. Her hands were shaking. What was written on that paper would force him to make a choice that no parent should ever have to make, a choice that would haunt him for the rest of his life. But also, save him. Marcus Chen's hand trembled as he reached for his phone. He had ignored the first 3 calls. Bad timing. He was 30 seconds from signing the biggest deal of his life, $3 billion, that would make him the richest tech CEO in America. 12 Japanese executives sat across the mahogany table, in Tokyo, pens ready. But his assistant Jennifer stood frozen in the doorway. Her face was white as paper. In 10 years she had never interrupted a meeting. Not once. Marcus felt ice flood his veins before she even spoke. "Mr. Chen," her voice cracked. "It's Emma and Max." The room tilted. Marcus's twins, 7 years old. He'd kissed them goodbye yesterday morning. Emma had maple syrup on her chin. Max had laughed and smeared it on Marcus's tie. "What happened?" he asked. Jennifer's lips moved, but no sound came out at first. "They collapsed. Both of them, at school, 15 minutes apart." The next 14 hours blurred into a nightmare. Private jet screaming across the Pacific. Marcus sat alone in the cabin, staring at his phone's wallpaper, Emma and Max covered in ice cream, laughing at the beach last summer. He couldn't look away from their faces. His mind kept replaying the same moment, Max tugging his sleeve that morning. "Daddy, my tummy hurts." Marcus on his phone, reading emails. "Take some Tums, buddy. I'll be home in 2 days." He hadn't even looked up. What if those were the last words he ever said to his twins? The plane landed at 11:43 p.m. Marcus's driver broke every speed limit to St. Mary's Hospital. Marcus didn't notice. He was calling Dr. Patel, his hands shaking so badly he could barely hold the phone. "Mr. Chen," Dr. Patel's voice was careful. Too careful. "I need you to stay calm." "Where are my children?" Marcus asked urgently. "ICU, 4th floor. But Marcus, before you go up there, you need to understand what's happening." "I need to see them." "Mr. Chen, listen to me." The tone stopped him cold. It was the voice doctors use when they are about to destroy your world. "Your twins are in critical condition. We're running every test, but their organs are failing. Kidneys, liver." Simultaneously, Dr. Patel said. The words didn't make sense. "That's impossible. They were fine yesterday. They're 7 years old," Marcus said. "It's called compound organ dysplasia, genetic, extremely rare. I've seen it twice in 32 years, Dr. Patel explained. Marcus's throat closed as he ran through the hospital corridors. Nurses called after him, but he didn't stop. 4th floor, ICU, room 407. He burst through the door, and his legs almost gave out. Emma and Max lay in separate beds, separated by 8 feet that felt like a canyon. Tubes down their throats, wires covering their small bodies, machines breathing for them, beeping their fading heartbeats. Emma's face was grey. Max's lips were blue. These weren't his children. His children were pink-cheeked and wild, always running, always laughing. These were dying strangers wearing his children's faces. Marcus stumbled between the beds, not knowing which child to touch first. That hesitation, that half-second of paralysis, would haunt him forever. Because in 6 hours, he'd have to make that same choice again. Only this time, the hesitation would kill one of them. Kindly hit the subscribe button and tell us where you are viewing from. Dr. Patel found Marcus at 1:30 a.m., standing between his children's beds like a statue. "We need to talk. Conference room, now." Marcus couldn't move. His hand was on Emma's forehead, still warm, but getting colder. I can't leave them. Marcus's voice cracked. Mr. Chen. Dr. Patel's voice was firm. If you don't come with me right now, you'll lose them both. Is that what you want? That got him moving. The conference room was small and sterile. Dr. Patel closed the door and pulled up medical scans on a monitor. 2 sets of kidneys, highlighted in red. 2 livers, failing. Emma's kidney function is at 19%. Max's liver enzymes are tripling every 6 hours. At this rate, they have 48 hours. Maybe less. Marcus gripped the table. Treatment? Emma needs a bone marrow transplant. Max needs a partial liver transplant. Both immediately. Dr. Patel explained. Then do it. Mr. Chen, we can't just... I'll pay whatever it costs. 10 million, 50 million, name the price. Marcus's voice broke. Dr. Patel's expression didn't change. It's not about money. Those 5 words hit Marcus like a freight train. Not about money. He had spent 20 years building an empire on the belief that everything was about money. Money was power. Money was controlled. Money solved problems. But Dr. Patel was shaking his head. Your children have type AB negative blood with KID antigens. Do you know what that means? Marcus didn't. 1 in 7 million people. But that's just the blood type. For a successful transplant, we need perfect HLA compatibility, protein markers, tissue matching. Dr. Patel pulled up a database on screen. 14 people on Earth match your children's requirements. We've contacted all of them. He pulled up a spreadsheet. 3 names marked in red. Deceased, 5 names marked in grey. Medically, ineligible. Cancer, heart disease, too old. 4 names marked in yellow. Unreachable, remote locations. 2 in the Amazon, 1 in rural Mongolia, 1 on an Arctic research station. 2 names marked in black. They refused. Marcus's voice was dangerous. We offered them $50 million. They still said no, Dr. Patel said. Marcus's mind was racing, calculating, problem-solving, like he did in boardrooms. Offer them 100 million, 200. I'll give them, Marcus said. Mr. Chen, Dr. Patel cut him off. 1 is a monk in Tibet who's taken a vow of non-interference. The other is a woman in Germany who's terrified of surgery. No amount of money will change their minds. Then make them. Legal action. Coercion. You can't force someone to donate organs. It's illegal, unethical, impossible, Dr. Patel explained. Marcus slammed his fist on the table. So, what am I supposed to do? Dr. Patel's face was grave. We have teams searching every database. International registries. Research hospitals. But Marcus... He paused. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've seen this scenario twice before. Marcus's voice dropped to a whisper. What happened to those children? Dr. Patel didn't answer. He didn't have to. Marcus left the conference room and walked like a zombie through the hospital corridors. 48 hours. 2 days for his children to live unless a miracle happened. He pulled out his phone and started making calls. First, his head of security. I need you to locate 4 people. I don't care where they are, charter helicopters, private jets, bring them to San Francisco. The 4 unreachable donors. He'd move mountains, literally. Second, his legal team. I need options to compel medical procedures, find loopholes, international law, anything. Third, his PR team. Prepare a statement. We're offering $500 million for a compatible donor. Every media outlet, every country, now. He worked through the night. By dawn, he had spent $40 million on the search effort. By noon, he had offered $1 billion publicly. By 6 p.m., 30 hours after his children had collapsed, he had nothing. The Amazon donors couldn't be reached. No satellite phones, no roads. The legal team found nothing. You cannot force organ donation. Period. The $1 billion reward? Thousands of responses, all incompatible blood types or scammers. At 8:47 p.m., Marcus stood in the hospital parking lot in the rain. 18 hours left. Emma's kidney function, 11%. Max's liver enzymes, critical levels. Hepatic encephalopathy beginning, toxins building in his brain. Dr. Patel's last text message was burned into Marcus's mind. Time frame now, 12-18 hours maximum. I'm sorry. Marcus had conquered everything in his life through sheer force of will and money, but he couldn't conquer this. His security team waited with umbrellas. Marcus walked past them to his Bentley, rained, soaking through his suit. He sat in the back seat, staring at nothing. His empire, his billions, his power. All of it is worthless. His children were going to die, and there was nothing he could do. Then someone knocked on his window. Marcus looked up slowly. A young woman, likely in her late 20s, stood in the rain. Her jacket was ripped, hanging off thin shoulders. Matted hair plastered to her face. Homeless, clearly. His security guard moved toward her, hand resting on his weapon. Marcus raised his hand. Stop. Something about her eyes. They weren't the desperate eyes of someone begging. They were calm, focused, like she had been searching for him. He lowered the window 1 inch. You have 30 seconds, Marcus said coldly. The woman pulled out a document wrapped in plastic. Her hands were steady despite the rain. Emma and Max Chen, 7 years old. Type AB negative blood with KID antigens. 14 registered compatible donors worldwide. Marcus's entire body went rigid. How did she know his children's names? Their blood type? The exact number of donors? You've searched for 36 hours, she continued. Spent $40 million. Offered $1 billion publicly. Found nothing. Marcus's hand moved to his phone. This was a scam. An elaborate, sick scam by someone who'd hacked medical records. But then she said, I'm donor number 15. And she handed him the document. Marcus snatched it through the gap in the window. Medical screening results. St. Mary's Hospital letterhead. 3 years old. Name, Maya Zhang. Date, October 19th, 2022. Blood type, AB negative. KID antigens. JK Mariah plus, JK Rabi plus, HLA typing. AB, DR markers, listed, compatibility status. Universal rare donor. Every detail was perfect. Too perfect. Marcus's mind raced. This had to be fake. A homeless woman with stolen medical records trying to exploit a desperate father for money. He'd seen this before. Scammers who targeted wealthy families in crisis. His face hardened into the expression that had destroyed business rivals for 2 decades. How much did they pay you? Marcus asked. The woman blinked, confused. What? Whoever gave you my children's medical information, whoever told you their blood type, the antigen codes, the number of donors, how much did they pay you to approach me? Something flickered across her face. Not anger. Hurt. Mr. Chen, You're trying to exploit a desperate father. Marcus's voice could cut glass. Impressive work. Real medical document. Probably stolen from hospital records. Perfect timing. Very sophisticated operation. He handed the document to his security, Chief James. Verify this. If it's real, Dr. Patel will contact her through proper channels. The woman's voice rose. Your children don't have much time. And if this is fake? Marcus leaned forward, his eyes dark with rage. If you're using my dying children to run a con, I will destroy you. You'll be in jail by morning. I will find whoever put you up to this and ruin them. Their families, their futures, everything. He had made that exact threat 100 times in business. It always worked. But this woman didn't flinch. She just looked at him with infinite sadness. I understand why you don't trust me, Mr. Chen. Her voice was soft, steady. You're a billionaire. You've spent your life learning that people want things from you. Why would I be different? Then there was a pause. But your twins are dying. And I'm the only person on earth who can save them. Then there was another pause, rain hammering the car roof. So you can spend the next 12 hours investigating me, or you can call Dr. Patel and test my blood right now. Marcus felt something crack in his chest, but he couldn't let it show. Trust was weakness. Desperation was weakness. James, Give her $500. Make sure she doesn't come back, Marcus said. His security guard pulled out cash. The woman didn't take it. I don't want your money, she said quietly. I want to save your children. Marcus powered up the window, cutting her off mid-sentence. Drive, he ordered. The Bentley pulled away. Through the rearview mirror, Marcus watched the woman standing in the rain. James had dropped the $500, bills floating in puddles around her feet. She didn't pick them up. She didn't move. She just stood there, watching the car disappear, rain streaming down her face. Despite his cold exterior, doubt flooded Marcus the second the car turned the corner. What if she was real? What if he had just sent away the only person who could save Emma and Max? What if his arrogance just killed his children? Stop the car, Marcus barked. But when the Bentley circled back 2 minutes later, the woman was gone. Just $500 bills floating in the gutter, and a medical document in James's hand. Marcus grabbed his phone and dialed Dr. Patel's contact. Dr. Patel, wake up. I need you to verify a medical document. Tonight. Right now. I don't care if it's midnight. My children have less than 12 hours. He emailed the scan, then waited. 20 minutes felt like 20 years. When Dr. Patel called back, there was something in his voice Marcus had never heard before. Awe. Mr. Chen, where did you find her? Marcus's heart stopped. Is it real? Maya Zhang, 28 years old, tested at St. Mary's 3 years ago during a community health screening at Riverside Homeless Shelter. Dr. Patel was pulling up records. Marcus could hear the keyboard clicking. Type AB negative with perfect kid antigens. But she had requested privacy status. Many homeless people do. Her data exists, but it's unlisted in public donor registries. Marcus couldn't breathe. Is she compatible? She's not just compatible, Mr. Chen. She's perfect. HLA markers match both Emma and Max. Tissue compatibility is 99.8%. Protein markers align. Dr. Patel's voice was shaking. In 32 years of medicine, I've never seen a match this perfect outside of identical twins. Joy exploded in Marcus's chest for exactly 3 seconds. Then Dr. Patel said, "But there's something you need to know. Her medical history from that screening shows markers for early-stage chronic myeloid leukemia." The joy died. She's sick. Stage 1, barely detectable 3 years ago. But CML is progressive. Any major trauma accelerates it. Surgery, stress, bone marrow extraction. Then there was silence on the line. Mr. Chen, listen to me carefully. Bone marrow donation is brutal. They drill into the pelvic bones and extract tissue. Recovery takes months. For someone with CML, it could accelerate the disease by years. Marcus's throat closed. And liver donation? Worse. They'd take 60% of her liver. Major abdominal surgery. For someone with leukemia, the trauma could turn months into weeks. Dr. Patel's voice dropped. Mr. Chen, I'm telling you that Maya Zhang is offering to trade her life for your children's lives. Marcus hung up. He felt his world collapse. She knew. She knew exactly what it would cost her. And she had stood in the rain, offering anyway, while he had called her a scammer and threatened to destroy her. Where could she be right now? His voice was raw. Find her. Riverside Homeless Shelter, now, he ordered. No, Marcus's voice cracked. I looked into the eyes of the only person who could save my children and called her a liar. I threatened her. I sent her away. He was shaking. This is my mistake, and I will fix it. Marcus's Bentley pulled up to Riverside Homeless Shelter at 1:47 a.m. He didn't wait for them to clear the area. He was out of the car before it fully stopped, running toward the entrance. A security guard blocked the door, an older man with a grey beard and suspicious eyes. We're closed. Come back at... I'm looking for Maya Zhang, Marcus. Cut him off. The guard's expression didn't change. We don't give out information about residents. Marcus pulled out his wallet. I'll donate $1 million to this shelter right now if you... Put your money away. The guard's voice was cold. You think you can buy everything? Yes, Marcus had thought exactly that for 20 years, but he was learning otherwise tonight. Please. The word felt foreign in Marcus's mouth. My children are dying. She's the only person who can save them. Something shifted in the guard's face. You're the billionaire from the news. The one who offered the reward. Marcus nodded. Oh my God. The guard studied him for a long moment as he unlocked the door. Maya left here 2 years ago, but there's someone who might know where she went. Inside, the shelter was a maze of bunk beds and thin partitions, the smell of unwashed bodies and cheap disinfectant, snoring from 100 sleeping people. The guard led Marcus to the back corner where a woman sat on a chair, reading by flashlight. Carol, the guard said softly. Someone's looking for Maya. The woman looked up. Her eyes were sharp, intelligent, taking in Marcus's $5,000 suit and Rolex watch in one glance. Oh, Maya? Sweet girl. She volunteered here for a while even though she was homeless herself. She helped serve meals and read to the kids. When did you last see her? Marcus asked. Maybe 4 months ago. She stopped coming around. I was worried that something happened to her. Did she have any friends? Anyone she was close to? Marcus asked. Carol thought for a moment. Not at all. But you could check St. Francis Park. Someone claimed he saw her the previous day. Marcus then turned back, heading straight to his car. St. Francis Park, now! He ordered. The Bentley tore through empty streets. Marcus checked his phone obsessively. Emma's status. Kidney function 8%. Dialysis barely keeping up. Max's status. Liver failure is critical. Hepatic coma imminent. 10 hours left. Maybe less. His hands were shaking so badly he could barely hold the phone. Was he willing to let a young woman sacrifice years of her life to save his children? He thought to himself. What kind of monster did that make him? But what kind of father let his children die when salvation stood 15 minutes away? St. Francis Park was abandoned at 2 a.m. Old playground equipment cast skeletal shadows under broken streetlights. Marcus spotted her immediately. Maya sat on a bench under the only working lamp, head tilted back, watching the stars through gaps in the cloud cover. She looked even thinner than before, frailer, but somehow peaceful, like she had already made peace with whatever was coming. Marcus walked slowly across the wet grass, his $800 shoes sinking into mud. She didn't turn when he approached. She just kept watching the sky. Orion, she said quietly. My favorite constellation. Hunter chasing. The Pleiades across eternity. Never quite catching them. Marcus sat on the other end of the bench, leaving 3 feet between them. How did you know I would come? Because you love your children more than your pride. She finally looked at him. Her eyes were clear, steady. And because Dr. Patel verified my records. You're thorough. You wouldn't come based on faith alone. She was right. Silence stretched between them. Why are you doing this? Marcus asked. Maya was quiet for a long moment. Then she continued. 3 years ago I was living in that shelter. I was sick, dying, alone. I had a daughter. Marcus's breath caught. Her name was Lily, 4 years old. Same genetic disease your twins have. A homeless mother with no insurance, no money. I begged every hospital in the city for help. I offered to clean floors, do laundry, anything. They all said the same thing. We can't help without payment or insurance. Her voice didn't waver, but her hands clenched. Lily died in my arms in the ER waiting room while I filled out financial assistance forms. Marcus felt like he had been punched in the stomach. During that health screening, when they told me I was a universal rare donor, I asked them to flag my file. Make me findable. I thought, maybe I can't save my daughter, but someday I might save someone else's child. She turned to face him fully. And then I saw your story on the news. 2 children, same disease. Father with unlimited resources but no compatible donor. A sad smile. Funny, isn't it? You have everything I didn't have. Money, power, the best doctors. But the one thing your children need, only I can give them. Marcus's throat was so tight that he could barely speak. Dr. Patel said the donation will accelerate your leukemia, that it could cost you months, a year. Marcus's voice trembled with fear. Maya went quiet. I know, she said softly, looking really sad and like she had given up. Then why? Because I have months, Mr. Chen. Your children have hours. She stood up, wobbling slightly. Marcus instinctively reached out to steady her, but she waved him off. I'm weak, not helpless, she said, pulling out a folded paper from her jacket, a handwritten document. I wrote this tonight. My consent for the procedures. Bone marrow extraction for Emma. Liver donation for Max. No payment required. No strings attached. She held it out. Marcus stared at the paper like it was a live grenade. I can't accept this, he said. Your children will die if you don't. Maya's expression softened. Mr. Chen, I'm already dying. I've been dying since the day Lily was born with that disease in her blood, since the day I couldn't save her. She pressed the paper into his hand. This is the first time in 3 years I've felt like my life has purpose. Like maybe Lily's death wasn't completely meaningless. Like maybe I can turn my pain into someone else's joy. Tears streamed down Marcus's face. He hadn't cried in 15 years. Not when his company almost bankrupted. Not when his wife left. Not even when Emma and Max collapsed. But now he couldn't stop. I'm asking you to die for my children. His voice shattered. No, Maya said gently. I'm asking you to let me live for something that matters. Marcus looked at the consent form through blurred vision. If I accept this, if you do this, I owe you everything. My children's lives, their future, everything they become. You owe me nothing, Maya said firmly. No, his voice was steel. You're wrong. He pulled out his phone and called his lawyer. Draw up documents, full medical care for Maya Zhang, best oncologists in the world, experimental treatments, whatever extends her life, I'm paying for it. Maya opened her mouth to protest, but Marcus cut her off. And a trust fund, managed independently, $10 million, for her medical care, living expenses, anything she needs. Mr. Chen, I don't want, she choked out, her voice barely audible, tears streaming down her face as she tried to insist, her heart breaking with every word. And when you die, his voice cracked. When you eventually die, because we're all going to die, I'm endowing a foundation in your daughter's name, the Lily Zhang Memorial Fund, for families who can't afford treatment for rare diseases. He was talking faster now, desperately. We'll save hundreds of children, thousands. Your daughter's name will save lives for generations. Maya's face crumpled. And one more thing, Marcus said, his voice dropping to a whisper. When Emma and Max are old enough to understand, I'm going to tell them everything. About you. About Lily. About the woman who traded her future so they could have one. He gripped her hand. They will know your name. They will honor your sacrifice. And they will spend their lives trying to be worthy of the gift you gave them. Maya was crying now too. I don't deserve... I don't. Yes, Marcus said fiercely. You do. You deserve everything I can give you and more. She nodded, unable to speak. Marcus stood and helped her to her feet. His security team approached with umbrellas as rain started falling again. Let's go save my children, Marcus said. They walked toward the Bentley together. But then Maya stopped. Mr. Chen, there's one more thing you need to know. His heart dropped. What now? The procedures. They can't do both at once. Too much risk, too traumatic for the donor. Marcus's blood ran cold. What are you saying? Maya's voice was barely a whisper. You have to choose Emma's bone marrow transplant or Max's liver donation. The world stopped. Both children need transplants to survive, but I can only donate to one of them. Thunder rumbled overhead. So you have to decide, Mr. Chen. Her eyes met his. Which child do you want to save? Marcus stood frozen in the rain. The question hung in the air like poison gas. That's impossible. His voice was hollow. Dr. Patel said you were compatible with both. I am compatible with both. Maya's voice was gentle but unyielding. But the procedures are too invasive. Bone marrow extraction takes 4 to 6 hours. Liver donation takes 8 to 10 hours. Both require general anesthesia. Both cause severe trauma. She touched her side, where the leukemia was slowly killing her. My body can't handle both procedures. The shock would kill me before the second surgery finished. Dr. Patel confirmed it tonight. Marcus's mind was screaming. This couldn't be happening. Then we will find another donor. We'll search again. There is no time. Maya's words cut like a blade. Emma has 10 hours. Max has 8. By the time you find another compatible donor, if one even exists, they'll both be dead. She stepped closer. You have to choose, Mr. Chen. Marcus's legs gave out. He collapsed onto the wet park bench, his head buried in his hands. Emma, his little girl, who loved painting and told elaborate fantasy stories and insisted on wearing her tutu to bed. Max, his little boy, who collected rocks and built elaborate towers and asked impossible questions about the universe. How does a father choose between his children? How does anyone make that choice? There has to be another way, he whispered. There has to be. I don't think there is. Maya sat beside him, giving him space but staying close. I've thought about this for 8 hours, Mr. Chen. I have consulted with Dr. Patel. I researched every possibility, prayed for a miracle. Her voice was infinitely sad. This is the reality. You save one child, or you lose both. Marcus's phone buzzed. Update from the hospital. Emma, kidney function 6%, multiple organ stress. Hours remaining, 8 to 10. Max, hepatic encephalopathy progressing. Toxin levels critical. Hours remaining, 6, 8. Max was failing faster. The logical choice was obvious, wasn't it? Save the child. Who has less time? Triage. Cold calculation. But he loved them both. No. Marcus tried to think logically, rationally, like a businessman solving a problem. Probability of survival? Both had equal chances if they received transplants. Quality of life post-surgery? Both would be healthy. Future potential? Both were 7 years old. Impossible to predict. Every rational metric was exactly equal, because they were twins, genetically identical, same value, same potential, same everything, which meant any choice was arbitrary, which meant any choice was monstrous. I can't, Marcus said. I can't choose. I can't afford to lose one. The words hit like a physical blow. Maya wasn't being cruel, just stating facts. Your children have hours left, Mr. Chen. If you don't decide in the next 30 minutes, we can't prep the operating room in time. The window closes. She stood. I'll be waiting and give you time to think. Wait, Marcus called, but Maya was already walking away, giving him privacy for the most horrible decision any parent could face. Marcus sat alone in the rain. His phone showed photos of Emma and Max from their last birthday party, covered in cake, laughing, identical smiles. He thought about Emma's artwork covering their refrigerator, her dreams of being an artist when she grew up. He thought about Max's rock collection, his fascination with dinosaurs, his questions about stars. He thought about Emma teaching Max to tie his shoes when they were 5. He thought about Max defending Emma from bullies on the playground. They were two halves of one whole. How do you cut a soul in half and choose which piece lives? Marcus called his ex-wife Jennifer. She answered on the first ring. She'd been at the hospital for 30 hours straight. She hadn't left Emma and Max's room. Marcus, did you find the donor? She asked. Yes. His voice was dead. But there's a problem. He explained everything. The silence on the other end lasted forever. Then Jennifer said, No. What? No. I won't help you make this choice. I can't. Her voice was breaking. Marcus, they're my babies, both of them. I carried them for 9 months, felt them kick, gave birth to them minutes apart. How can you ask me to choose? I'm not asking you to choose, I'm asking for advice. Help me think through. There's nothing to think through, Jennifer screamed. This isn't a business decision. This isn't about logic or strategy or probability. She was sobbing now. This is about playing God, and I won't do it. I can't. Jennifer, Marcus called over the phone, if you make me help you choose, I'll hate you forever. And I'll hate myself. And I'll hate whichever child survives because they're alive and their sibling isn't. She hung up. Marcus tried calling his parents, his brother, his closest friend. No one would help him. They all said the same thing. I can't make this choice for you. But he couldn't decide. For himself either. He opened a coin flip app on his phone. Heads, Emma. Tails, Max. His finger hovered over the button. This was insane. Deciding a child's life with a random coin toss, but wasn't any choice equally insane? Any criteria equally arbitrary? At least a coin was fair. Impartial, no bias, no favoritism, pure chance. He pressed the button. The coins spun. And the results showed tails, which means Max. Marcus stared at the result. His son would live. His daughter would die. Because a digital coin landed on tails. Something inside Marcus shattered. He hurled the phone across the park. It smashed against a tree, the screen exploding into fragments. No! He yelled. He couldn't do this. He wouldn't do this. He'd spent 20 years building an empire because he refused to accept limitations, refused to accept impossible. There was always another way. He just had to find it. Marcus ran back to the Bentley. Then he dialed Dr. Patel's contact the second time. The call connected. Mr. Chen, have you... Is there any medical procedure that could save both children? Anything? I don't care how experimental, how risky, how expensive. Dr. Patel sighed. Mr. Chen, we've been over this. What if we had 2 donors? Different people donating to each child, Marcus asked. We've contacted every compatible donor on Earth. None are available in time, Dr. Patel explained. What if we used incompatible donors and suppressed the immune system? Marcus asked again. The rejection would kill them in days, Dr. Patel explained. What about artificial organs, mechanical kidneys, synthetic livers? Not advanced enough for children. Adults maybe, but... Give me something, Marcus roared. Anything! I'll fund the research. I'll pay billions for experimental treatment. Then there was silence on the line. Then Dr. Patel said quietly, There is one theoretical possibility. Marcus's heart stopped. Tell me. It's never been done. Might not work. Probably won't work. Tell me. Dr. Patel took a deep breath. We take Maya's bone marrow and split it between both children. Half for Emma, half for Max. Simultaneously. Marcus's mind raced. Would that work? Maybe. Maybe. Half a donation is still substantial. It might be enough to jumpstart Emma's kidney function and trigger Max's liver to regenerate. Hope flared in Marcus's chest. But, Dr. Patel continued, it also means neither child gets a full transplant. Both procedures are compromised. Both children have maybe a 40% chance of survival instead of 90%. The hope died. So, instead of choosing which child lives, I'm gambling with both their lives, Marcus asked. Yes. Thunder crashed overhead. Dr. Patel's voice was grave. And Maya. Splitting the donation means extracting twice as much bone marrow from her body. The trauma would... He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. It would kill her. Not months from now, not weeks. During the surgery itself. Marcus saw Maya standing next to him and his eyes locked onto hers. He had no idea she'd been listening to everything. She had heard everything. Her face was pale but calm. Do it, she said simply. Maya, you'll... I know, she smiled. But both your children have a chance. 40% is better than 0. She held out her hand. And if I die saving them both instead of just one, that's how I want to go. Marcus couldn't speak. This woman, This stranger he had met 3 hours ago was offering to die to give both his children a fighting chance. Not just one. Both. There's a third option, Dr. Patel had said carefully. We do the full procedure on one child, guaranteed 90% survival. The other child we make comfortable. Palliative care. No pain. Which means we would let one child go peacefully while we save the other. The rain hammered down. Marcus had 3 choices now. Option 1, choose Emma. Save her with 90% certainty. Watch Max die. Option 2, choose Max. Save him with 90% certainty. Watch Emma die. Option 3, split the donation. Give both children 40% odds, and Maya dies during the procedure. 30 seconds of silence. Then Marcus said, I need to talk to my children. Dr. Patel's voice cracked. Mr. Chen, they're unconscious. Intubated. They can't. Wake them up, Marcus snapped. That's not medically. I don't care. Marcus's voice was iron. Give them 5 minutes of consciousness. However you do it. Drugs, stimulants, I don't care. I need to talk to my children before I make this choice. Then there was silence. It seems Marcus is running mad already. Marcus looked between his children. I have to tell them. I have to explain. They deserve to understand. Mr. Chen, you need to calm down, Dr. Patel said. He looked at Dr. Patel, who'd been standing in the doorway the whole time. Split the donation, Marcus said with desperation, losing hope already. Give them both a chance. Marcus, 40% odds. They're twins. They're 2 halves of one whole. I won't choose between them. We save both, or we lose both. He stood up, still holding his children's hands. Do everything you can to maximize their chances. Dr. Patel nodded slowly. We would start the surgery immediately. But you should say goodbye to Maya. She probably won't survive the extraction process. Marcus found Maya in the waiting room. She was writing in a small notebook. Letters, he realized. She held out the letters. Give these to the twins on their 18th birthday. I wrote down everything about Lily. About why I did this, about how some things matter more than survival. Marcus took the letters with shaking hands. You're going to die saving my children. I'm going to die anyway, Mr. Chen. This way, it means something. She stood up, wobbling slightly. But I need you to promise me 3 things. Anything, Marcus assured her. First, don't let Emma and Max feel guilty. They didn't ask for this. I chose it. Make sure they understand the difference. Marcus nodded. Second, the foundation you mentioned. The Lily Zhang Memorial Fund. Make it real. Help other families who can't afford treatment. I will. I swear, Marcus assured her. Third, her voice wavered for the first time. Tell them about Lily. Tell them she loved dinosaurs and finger painting and singing off-key. Tell them she was real. She mattered. She existed, Maya said childishly in tears. The world didn't save her. But maybe the world will remember her through the children she saves. Marcus pulled her into a hug. This stranger, this saint, this woman was about to die for his family. Thank you, he whispered. Thank you for my children's lives. Thank you for making sure Lily's death wasn't meaningless. They stood like that for a long moment. Then Dr. Patel appeared in the doorway. We're ready. The surgery began at 4:47 a.m. Marcus wasn't allowed in the OR, so he paced the surgical waiting room like a caged animal. Dr. Patel had explained the process. First 4 hours. Extract bone marrow from Maya's pelvic bones. Multiple extraction sites. Brutal procedure. Next 2 hours. Process and split the bone marrow between 2 doses. Next 8 hours. Simultaneously transplant 2, both children in separate ORs. Final 2 hours. Monitor for immediate rejection or complications. 16 hours total. 16 hours of wondering if he'd just killed all 3 of them. Hours passed. Then Dr. Patel emerged from the OR, still in scrubs, covered in blood. His face was unreadable. Marcus stood immediately. The entire waiting room held its breath. Emma and Max are alive, Dr. Patel said. The room erupted, but Marcus watched Dr. Patel's face. And Maya? He asked quietly. Dr. Patel's expression crumbled. We lost her twice during the extraction, brought her back both times. But the trauma was too much. He paused. She's alive, barely, in ICU. But Mr. Chen… He didn't need to finish. Marcus was already running. The ICU was 3 floors up. Marcus took the stairs 4 at a time, his expensive shoes slipping on polished floors. He burst into the ICU. A nurse tried to stop him. Sir, you can't… Maya Jiang, where is she? Something in his voice made the nurse step aside. Room 12. But she's not conscious. Marcus found the room. Maya lay in the same kind of bed his children had occupied the previous day. Tubes, wires, machines. But there was no hope in this room. The monitors showed a heart rate barely sustaining life. Breathing supported entirely by machines. Organ failure cascading across the displays. Dr. Patel appeared behind him. We've done everything we can. She's on full life support. But the extraction trauma accelerated the leukemia catastrophically. Her organs are shutting down one by one. How long? Hours. Maybe less. Marcus felt his knees buckle. She was 28 years old. She'd had dreams, plans, a future. And she'd traded all of it for 2 children she'd never even met. Marcus sat beside Maya's bed and took her hand. It was cold. Maya, he whispered, Emma and Max are alive. The surgery worked, both of them. 40% odds and we beat them. No response. She was too far gone. You saved them, both of them. You gave my children their futures. He was crying again. And I'm going to keep every promise I made. The foundation, the medical care for families who can't pay. Lily's name will save thousands of children. He squeezed her hand. You won't be forgotten. I swear it. My children will know your name. Their children will know your name. Generations will know what you did. The monitors beeped steadily, counting down. Marcus stayed with Maya for 6 hours. At 2:34 p.m., the monitors began showing irregular rhythms. Dr. Patel appeared. It's time, Marcus. No, there has to be something. There isn't. We can keep her on machines for hours more, but she's already gone. Marcus looked at Maya's peaceful face. 28 years old. Gone. She gave me the gift of choice for my children. I'll give her the gift of dignity, no prolonged suffering. Dr. Patel nodded and signaled the nurses. They turned off the ventilator. The breathing tube was removed. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Maya took one shallow breath on her own. Another. Another. Marcus held her hand, counting each breath like precious diamonds. 12 breaths. On the 13th breath, her heart monitor flatlined. Time of death. 2:47 p.m. Marcus sat with her body for another hour, unable to let go. Eventually, Dr. Patel gently pulled him away. Your children are asking for you, he said softly. Right. His children. The children Maya had died to save. Marcus walked like a zombie to the pediatric recovery ward. Emma and Max were in beds side by side now, no longer separated by medical equipment and tubes. They were awake, weak, but conscious. When they saw him, both children smiled. Daddy! Emma's voice was hoarse but strong. You look terrible, Max observed. Marcus laughed, tears streaming down his face. He gathered both children into his arms as carefully as possible, mindful of their surgery wounds. I love you, he whispered. I love you both so much. We love you too, they said in unison, the way twins do. Jennifer, Marcus's ex-wife, appeared in the doorway. She looked at Marcus holding their children, both alive, both recovering, both with futures ahead of them. The doctors said 40% odds for each, she said quietly. 16% chance both would survive. Marcus nodded. We beat the odds, she said. No. Marcus's voice was hollow. Maya beat the odds. We just benefited from her sacrifice. He looked at his children. And now we have to spend the rest of our lives being worthy of it. 10 years had passed. Emma and Max Chen stood on the stage at Stanford University. They are now 17 years old, valedictorians, full scholarships. Emma was giving the commencement speech for the incoming medical school class. Max was presenting his research on affordable organ regeneration technology. Marcus sat in the audience, now 52 years old. Beside him sat an empty chair. Every important event in his children's lives, he reserved an empty chair for Maya, a reminder of who gave them this chance. Emma's speech began, "When I was 7 years old, I died." The audience went quiet. "My twin brother and I both died. Genetic disease, organ failure. We had hours left." She paused. "A stranger saved us. A homeless woman with nothing. She was dying herself, leukemia. But she chose to give her bone marrow to us anyway, knowing it would kill her faster." Max stepped forward. "Her name was Maya Zhang. She had a daughter named Lily who died of the same disease we had. She couldn't save Lily, but she saved us." Together they said, "And we've spent the last 10 years asking ourselves, why us? Why did we deserve to live when Maya and Lily died?" Emma continued alone. "The answer is, we didn't deserve it. We got lucky. We had a father with resources and a stranger with a saint's heart." Max said, "But that luck came with responsibility, an obligation, a debt that can never fully be repaid." Emma said, "So we dedicated our lives to making sure other families don't face the same choice our father did." They gestured to a screen behind them. The Lily Zhang Memorial Foundation logo appeared. "In 10 years, this foundation has provided free treatment for 5,000 children with rare diseases," Max said. "We've funded experimental research that led to 3 new treatments," Emma added. "We've created an international donor registry that's found matches for 2,000 desperate families. And we're just getting started. Together, because Maya Zhang taught us that one person can change everything. One choice can save generations." The audience erupted in applause. Marcus closed his eyes. 10 years ago, Maya had handed him an impossible choice. Save one child or risk both. He'd chosen to risk both, and somehow, miraculously, they'd survived. But at what cost? Maya's life, her future, her dreams. Was it worth it? He looked at his children on stage, 17 years old, brilliant and compassionate and dedicated to saving others. They would save thousands of lives over their careers. Those thousands would save millions more. One woman's sacrifice, rippling outward forever. After the presentation, Marcus drove to Riverside Cemetery. He did this every year on the anniversary of Maya's death. Her gravestone was simple. Maya Zhang, 2002 to 2026. She saved children she never met. Her daughter Lily lives on in every life she touched. Beside it, there was a smaller stone. Lily Zhang, 2020 to 2024. Forever loved, never forgotten. Marcus had paid for Lily's body to be exhumed from the unmarked pauper's grave, where she'd been buried and reinterred here beside her mother. It was the least he could do. He placed 2 bouquets, one on each grave. Then he sat in the grass between them. "Emma and Max are 17 now," he said to the stones. "And starting medical school and bioengineering. They're going to change the world." The wind rustled through the trees. "The foundation has saved 5,000 children. In your name, Maya. In Lily's name." He touched Maya's gravestone. "Was it worth it? Did you die happy, knowing you'd saved them?" No answer, of course. Just the wind and the rustling leaves and the weight of a debt that could never be repaid. Marcus's phone buzzed. A text from Emma. "Dad, we just got the approval. New treatment for compound organ dysplasia, 94% success rate. No more impossible choices. No more parents having to decide which child lives." Marcus read the message 3 times. Then he showed it to Maya's gravestone, as if she could somehow see it. "You did this," he whispered. "Your death made this possible." He stood up, brushed grass from his pants. "Thank you, Maya Jiang, for my children, for 5,000 other children, for every child who will never have to die the way Lily did." He turned to leave, then paused. "I'll never forget you. Emma and Max will never forget you. The world will never forget you." One last look at the gravestones. Then Marcus Chen walked back to his car, carrying the weight of Maya's sacrifice and the joy of his children's lives. 2 truths that would define him forever. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, and subscribe for more. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated. Share the story with friends and join us for more stories.